Hey, what's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's good, man? Hey, this your boy AK Harrison from whoisakharrison.com. You can also catch me at bigmoneytrucker.com at the blog spot, man. Your boy be writing up all type of stories covering everything in the trucking industry. I mean, I'm talking about everything, whether it's some of the illegal drivers that's out there, companies shutting down, some of the industry beefs. But today we're going to be talking about lease purchase pay settlements. Since I am a lease driver, and I'll be talking about lease purchase and lease drivers, I think it's only right that I give my perspective on lease purchasing and show receipts of what can happen to you if you operate like me. It's possible. It is very possible. All right. We're going to go ahead and get right on into it, man. We're going to go ahead and expose my pay settlement. We're going to do let's go maybe 3 weeks, man. We're going to do 3 weeks of exposure so we can get a good idea of what you can be looking forward to as a lease purchase driver. All right. Who's that in the comments? Hey, what's going on, Trucker Z? I see you. What's good? What's good? Let's go ahead and get right on into it. I have my settlement pulled up already right here. Let me know if y'all can see that. If I need to blow it up a little bit, let me know. Let's see. I think that might look good right there. Let's see what it looks like on your end. Yeah, I think y'all be able to see that. But just for good measure, let's go ahead and take it up a notch just to see. Yeah. Because we know some of y'all can't see worth the cuss. All right. So we exposing pay settlements with JB Hunt and with a SFI truck. All right. These are my pay settlements for the year to date, and what a way to share some information with you guys. And do a end of the year review. Ha! And as you can see from the top, man, I'm looking at these top numbers. Year to date, my truck has made $151,930.70. That's not too bad. That's not bad at all. Um, considering that I didn't work every day. As a matter of fact, I took a whole month off because uh, I was in an accident. And then let's see, in the spring and in the summer, and back in like January, February, I did take some time off. 2 or 3 days here, 2 3 days there, right? So considering that I took a month off, and we can just on the law of averages, right? Let's just average this thing out, right? If my math isn't good, just on the law of averages, because 151, 151.93. Let's do a calculator. right, so we can just see what we kind of got going on. Oh Lord, let me get my calculator on this phone over here. Sheesh. All right, let's see. All right, 151,000. And I've been doing some numbers already too. Divided by 12. Um so like I said, I didn't work all year, right? So that ain't right. 151, 930 divided by, let's just say that I worked 10 months out of the year. All right. So if y'all can see that. So working 10 months out the year, I basically was making 15,000 per month. That is roughly $3,000 per week. That's what it averages out. 3,000 per week, $3,000 per week, and that is gross. I grossed basically $3,000 per week. Not great, not necessarily bad, because as you can see to that number to the far right, I netted 65,000 for the year. Not good at all. It's just kind of meh, you know? Like, yeah, who wants to do OTR work just to have 65,000, right? Who wants to rent a truck, if you will, just to bring home 65K a year, right? You can have a nice local job and make 65K a year. The reason why we, get into the lease game and lease purchase game is to get a step up towards maybe some next business ventures. But as you can see, I have 151K. Matter of fact, let's blow that up for you guys. Hopefully that won't be too big. Let's see. All right. So we got year to date 151K, $151,930.70. We could just go ahead and call that $152, $152,000 that the truck had made. That the truck made. Okay. Now, I got these deductions over here, $86,000 worth of deductions, and that's the kicker of this thing right here, man. That is the kicker. That is the kicker on the phone. Yes, Trucker Z, I am OTR. Yep. I'm glad that you can see it on the phone. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right. 150 $86,000 worth of deductions compared to what did I say that I had brought in? $65,000. So that means I had more deductions than I did netted. That means I am bleeding money. I didn't even break even. I didn't even break even. Taking that full month off, that definitely hurt because let me see. Just on average, if I could have just um worked another month, I could have added another 15 or 30K to that, maybe. right? Just according to my math that I did on the phone, right? If I work 10 months with the average of 15K per month, just working another month and a half, I would have turned a profit. And that's the thing, right? Now that I think about it, like whenever you do these lease purchase and these lease purchase programs and you're leasing a truck, you really are a slave to the truck, right? You are, which isn't not necessarily a bad thing. It all depends on whatever your goal is. Whatever your goal is, um, if your goal is to make money, right, you could definitely do that. If your goal is to make to purchase a truck, you can definitely do that. But I'm telling you, if you are trying to purchase a truck, if you're trying to take that next step and you got a life outside of trucking, outside of getting to the next level, you probably will be struggling. Probably going to bleed. You're probably not going to turn a profit. Because let me tell you, man, whenever I am driving, shit, I drive hard. Just this, I just came up to the realization that, you know what? I'm going to have to drive 3,000 miles per week. Previously, I was averaging around about 2,500 miles. In the winter, 2025, I was probably averaging maybe less than that. Let's say maybe 2,200 miles per week, right? Uh, but I'm like, now I'm going to have to average around about $3,000 miles per week, which isn't bad because if you were to do the math on, let's just say, a 6-day work week, that's just 500 miles per week. I mean, per day, which can be done, right? Which can be done. Take that full 24 hours off and then just run, 10 hours a day, which can be done. All right. But yeah, man, I'm bleeding red right here, man. Like, damn, I didn't. I'm like $11,000 in the hole, basically. That ain't now that right there ain't good. Whenever doing a comparison, the net versus the gross, this ain't good. This ain't good. Uncle Sam will look at me and say, "Well, damn, dog, you ain't got nothing to take. You done let the boss man take all your money. I can't get none." It's rough, man. It's rough, dog. All right. It said a earnings summary, and this is what I made for this previous week. Okay, I had grossed, and this number right here. I'm gonna just highlight this number. This 5,500, $5,596.31. This was done over the Thanksgiving holidays. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. Because I just wanted to see how much I could make, right? My kids are grown, they're out the house, out traveling abroad and all of that good stuff, man. I'm like, well, shit, man. I'm gonna just see what kind of money I can come up with. I'll be home for Christmas. We could do something for Christmas. And 55.96 is what I came up with. Not bad, not necessarily great either, right? Not bad, but not great. You know, I was hoping to do a number like 6. I was really hoping to bring home 6, but certain lows just didn't allow it to really manifest like that. It didn't really manifest like that, but I did do okay. Not bad, not bad, but okay. So let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit, see some deductions, some stuff that you can look forward to. Okay. I have a legal plan. Okay. A legal plan that comes out accident contract, which is 3,600. I got advances, which is my money basically. Basically, they take out for plates. They take out for plates. $50. Bobtail insurance, $8, which added up to 400 for the year. Easy pass fee, 1,700. Uh yeah. Hold on. So I spent $46,000 in fuel. Spent $1,700 last week in fuel. So 46, almost $47,000 in variable costs. Okay. 46K. So we can see how just trying to operate a business and you got to pay for fuel, that's one huge expense off top. Hell, I spend almost hell, fuel is almost as much as my net. And if you're going to go ahead and keep it a buck, even if I was to, let's just say, work um another month, I would still have to kick out some fuel. And according to this, shoot, I had spent $1,700 in fuel. 1,700. So this number could have easily been 5,200. I mean 52,000. Excuse me. Man, $52,000 in variable costs. Sheesh. What was that? Liability limiter. $19 per week, 500 for the year. Occupational accidental insurance. Go ahead and get that insurance. You need that $27.15, $1,300 for the week. I mean for the year. That'll work. Oil and death. $2,156 for the year. They're gonna charge you for physical damage insurance. Sure. 54 bucks. Tablet usage. They give you a tablet to use, $23. Toll usage fee is $100. Now, so you got the easy pass right here that you pay for. Then you got the toll fee right here as well. got an escrow. Escrow that you got to maintain. $100 a week. Then you got deductible buyback insurance. $259.74. I really don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to ask. A deductible buyback ends if the admin fee 50 cents. Hey, they nickel and dime you, don't they? Access to a premium load board. I'm not sure if I'm getting any value out of the premium load board. I'm not. Like like I because a lot of the loads that I do run and pull, I just don't. Most of them drop and hook anyway. And there are certain regions that I go to. I just know the lanes, and those loads are always there. You know, I shit. I done got this thing figured out like the back of my hand. Like shit, I stay within my zone. So the need for and the way that they sell the premium load board is that hey maybe you'll be somewhere and you'll need to book a load that wouldn't normally be on the load board. I'm like shit, man. I pretty much stay in my lane. I might need to ask some more questions about this load board right here. Like what loads, what give me some examples of the loads that would be on this load board that can justify $25 per week. Because if so, I can go ahead and pocket that $1,000. If not, I can just pocket it. Because what loads, right? What loads? RDT fee, $150. Roadside masters, 242. Scale charges. I do use um the scale services, weight station bypass. I think this is a pretty cool expense. Fuel and use tax payment, $63. Maintenance road service administration. All right. So what's the difference between roadside masters and then road service administration? All right. What's the difference? Maintenance tractor deduction, $331. And then this one right here, though, we have a SFI payment worth $17,000. $17,000. So I have fuel. What did I say? 46,000. Yep. Fuel that is 46.9. So let's just say 47,000. And then SFI truck payment at 17,000. So that's a 4. Carry the 1, 5, So $66,000, man. $64,000. $64,000, man. In deductions. In deductions. All right, let's check out another pay settlement though. Let's check out the year or the week previous to that. Let's go back. So we got the next one up. Let's go big picture. All right. All right. So this was for the week before Thanksgiving. And I bought home $700 $726.43. Grossed $3,824. So I had $3,000 worth of deductions. Well, yeah, $3,098. And off that 3,000, off that 3,800, I bought home $726. And here's a look at those numbers right here. All deductions that comes out. You got a truck payment down there at the bottom. That's huge. You got fuel in there. That's huge. Um, like I said, with that tablet fee, that's crazy. I'm gonna take a look at that load board fee. It's $25 per week. I'm not sure if I use it enough to justify $25 a week. I'm gonna see if I can't just go ahead and get that down. Got to get that down somehow. All right. So with that being said, now that we do I do I recommend drivers doing the lease purchase thing? Do I recommend it? Do I recommend drivers wanting to be a lease purchase driver? Like who's next, right? Uh who's next? Who do I recommend? Yes. Even with all of the deductions that I do have, I do recommend um you trying your hand at being a business owner if that's what you truly desire to do. Okay. Like if you really do desire and want to be a business owner, give it a try, give it a go. You just might be a good business person. Make sure that you are a good business person first, right? Like if you're just uh if you're not really into numbers, if you're not really into being overly scrutinized with your numbers and with your money, I don't recommend it. However, if you are the type of person, uh, you pay close attention to detail, right? Um, you can maximize your numbers and know how to squeeze money here and there. You you don't have high overhead. You can definitely do something. However, man, like if you're the type of person, you're like, nah, I'm not really into all of that. I just want to go ahead and do some work and make a decent living and not really worry about all of that other stuff, man. Don't do a lease purchase. Don't do it, right? And there's nothing wrong with being a company driver. Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, see that I'm still in search of a good company that pays, what it is that I'm looking for. I am. I'm still looking for, the right company that will pay what it is that I'm looking for. Man, $82,000 worth of deductions. That's, that, $82,000 worth of deductions, man. That is hard to swallow, man. That's a hard pill to swallow, man. Just taking a look at these numbers right here, man. Like this is a reality for a lot of drivers, like they're going to have more deductions than what they bring home. Hey, and you're gonna have to be comfortable with that too. Especially if you need to take time off for any reason, just know that a truck payment of whatever per week or per month is still due. Um, that's why the foreigners are doing really really well because they don't have a high overhead. They don't have, a family necessarily. They don't have a house or an apartment to pay for. They don't have the luxuries and amenities that Americans have. So therefore, they can just drive that truck into the ground, live in the truck. I mean, literally live in the truck. And after a while, I think Americans, what happens with us, we get tired of living in the truck, right? And we're like, man, I'm gonna get a place to stay. Well, you already have a place to stay. Well, yeah, you want something more stable. Well, this is stable. And really, what you want to do is just get out of the truck. This thing right here is a lifestyle more than anything. More than anything, trucking is a lifestyle. All right. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Right. And this lifestyle, it ain't for everybody. Living in your truck for weeks and months and sometimes years at a time, it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. You know, you're gonna have to be starving to really do it and do this at a high level. Not just hungry, but starving. You know what I mean? Like you want it and you need it and you're willing to do anything. And this living like this is just about as close as doing anything for that paper as it gets, man. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one down. I'm gonna start another one up, do some reaction videos because I am the big money trucker and I do report on some trucking content. So I'm going to shut this one down, start the next one up. I'll see y'all in a little bit. One.